Oh, I got this too. What up, guys? Your girl talk about it, Tina. That is my lovely king, because I'm pointing the right way today. My lovely king, iconic, and we are Jupiter's love.
Yes, but go ahead and keep shaking it, baby.
Oh, stop it. Today we are going to get right into it. We're going to continue with our series of building a strong relationship, a strong foundation. And today we are talking about conflict resolution strategies for couples. So we have 10 strategies for you all to implement in your relationship to keep it moving and building strong. You
Mm.
just
I'm just happy you made it clap.
okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk about our first point of our first strategy, and that is active listening. So we encourage partners to actively listen to each other's perspective without interrupting, ensuring that each person feels heard and understood. So, baby, do you want to talk about what Pastor Eva and Pastor Stephen had told us about what they did with the hat?
Okay, so the hat was uh what okay, the what at that time they had a hat. So the hat represents what we all know as like the talking stick. If you have the hat or if you have the talking stick for um for everybody else it's whatever. It could be, the wooden spoon, uh the
Just an
controller,
object, some
just
type of
some
object.
yeah. Um that when you have it, you get to speak. You get to speak, but you gotta be honest. You gotta be open. You gotta be transparent. And the only way you can the only way a person can hear you if you actually give them what they need to hear. You can't beat around the bush. You can't be vague about it and all that stuff. Um like my wife, she can give me something, but then if it's not all the way there, then how can I, as a man, help her? And vice versa. If I say, yeah, I'm just so tired, and she's trying to figure out, well, why or whatever, how can she help me? Basically, if y'all might know it as okay, if I have a vision, you know how they say women would not follow a man without a vision. Well, if I don't give her that vision and give her the details to that vision, how can she help me? How can she follow me? How can she trust me? You know, you ain't gonna trust somebody to lead you through a woods if you really ain't feeling them like that. If they not giving you 100% of themselves.
So, so to sum up what you were saying, or what I'm understanding, is one person's talking and you have to be open, honest, thorough, everything. And the other person is actively listening to hear them. But what they're taking in, you got to give them raw truth, honesty, whatever, because if you don't, then they may be listening, but can they hear you?
Yeah, it's kind of like going to the doctor's office. You go to the doctor's office for a toothache, but you say you just got pain in your mouth, and they asking you where, and you just really ain't trying to tell them where. You just saying, "Well, it's in my mouth. If my tooth is in my mouth, it's in my mouth." And it's like, no, there's different things, treatments that they can do.
Okay.
You know.
So let's move on. Well, you kind of touched on this one already, so uh, but effective communication. So use I statements instead of you, statements to express feelings and needs without blaming the other person, fostering a more understanding and less confrontational environment. And so I'm going to take this one and say this is something that my lovely king and I did when we started in our journey of back togetherness and we were trying to heal ourselves. we took accountability for ourselves. So we were using statements, I apologize that I did this. I, instead of, well, because you did this, then this is why this happened. It was taking accountability and using statements of I to be accountable for myself and not put blame on my king. Now, in a situation, there's two people that are right and two people that are wrong. So, whatever the situation is, you have to look at that situation and say, I'm right in this situation because, and I'm wrong in this situation because, and take accountability for that.
We
Um,
used it this past week.
yeah.
Remember when we were saying, well, I hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hear this.
Mm-hmm. And that's another good way to communicate because what someone's saying to you, you can then turn around and say, well, what I'm hearing you say is, and so you state what you hear them say, and they'll say that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, but I hear this is what I'm hearing. So
It takes the blame. A lot of people, it takes the blame, you blaming them, because if you blame them and it's not what they are meaning, then, it blame puts people in a I had the word, I lost it, but they go back in their shell. They shut down, and you don't
yeah,
want that. You want to be open and try to talk. Like,
yeah,
so if you
you want
start putting the blame, they shut down. Then you're back to ground zero.
yeah. So you want to definitely communicate. Let me turn the volume off on my phone. I'm sure my daughter is gonna be calling soon, like clockwork. Um. So the third strategy is taking breaks. So recognize when emotions are too high and take a break from the discussion to cool down, preventing escalation and promoting rational conversation. We've done this probably in the last month, I believe. Emotions were high. I forgot what was going on. Emotions were high. And so my king was like, okay, look, let me 5 minutes. I'll call you back. I just need to calm down and then process. So we're both processing on our own. And then when we came back together, then we were saying, well, I heard this, or this is what happened. This is what was said. And so we were able to effectively communicate without emotions being super, super high. So definitely taking a break. I think we've even taken a break, like a full day break where we're like, yeah, I'll call you later. Just need to process.
Yeah, that was
So
during the summertime. That part was during the summertime, and it was even like that this past week when we had the talk or whatever, where normally we would have been kind of like back and forth every so often throughout the day, but I didn't get to really physically talk to you until that that evening, that yeah, the nighttime or whatever, when I got off work, when we would have been in talked in between the break and all that stuff.
uh um so the fifth strategy, and we're moving pretty quick here, so we can fluff it
Well,
if we want.
quickies are my specialty.
Anywho, the fourth strategy is empathy development. Strive to understand and empathize. Empath. I can't say it.
Empathize.
Empathize with the other person's point of view, even if you don't agree, to build a deeper connection and mutual respect. So there are things that I may agree or not agree with, but I'm going to look at it from his perspective. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. I always ask you this, and I guess I always forget because I always ask you this. What is empathy?
Oh, God. So,
You got your phone if you want to look it up or if you want to
I
ask.
know. Hey Alexa, what is the definition of empathy?
Good morning to Kina. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It involves putting oneself in their shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. It is a powerful tool for connecting with others and is essential for human interaction.
Okay. So basically, it's just putting yourself in their shoes, seeing where they coming from. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it.
There's another one. So there's empathy, and then there's
Sympathy,
no sympathy and no, there's something else. And I always mix up the two because the other one is kind of like not really caring about people's feelings. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to mix it up. But yes, so being empathetic of what you're going through or what I'm going through, like not worrying about, oh, well, okay, that's fine. You're going through this, but I got all this going on too. Like a certain sign would do.
mm-hmm.
So, um, so there's that. And I think we have, I think we've always,
A certain sign.
yeah,
Virgo, Capricorn.
I'm not trying to say it because
Okay.
I ain't trying to start no zodiac war on our channel because all that sign try and come for me.
And
Uh,
well, everybody knows Sagittarius is the best.
okay.
Taurus is blessed.
Oh, mm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so again, just understanding someone else's point of view. Put your feet in their shoes. Whatever is going on or whatever they feel, whatever they're seeing, look at it from their point of view. Remove yourself because you're looking at it like this is me or this is how I feel. Remove yourself and say, okay, this is the factors of what they're looking at. So let me look at it from their point of view and then be more understanding of their responses and how they're feeling. Um, I really should. I'm not fast enough. I could be putting these on the screen so you guys can read them, but I'm not that good. Uh,
Nah, a lot of people don't read anyway for the simple fact that that's why they a lot of time they turn to YouTube. They just hear
yeah. Well,
do.
some people are visual. So I've watched some podcasts where they will put it on the screen because reading it makes it stick a little bit more versus just hearing it.
Reading is fundamental.
It is. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the fifth or strategy, and it's
Damn, you
conflict
look good.
focus, conflict de-escalation. Use calming techniques like deep breathing or counting to 10 before responding in a heated moment, helping to de-escalate the situation. So if
One,
there's
two,
not,
three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dude. Okay. When you said count to 10, that's all I thought about.
wow. So if you're in a situation like, let's say we're driving in a car together, then we can't, if we're in a heated discussion, then we can't say, okay, I'm gonna call you in 5 minutes, or I need to take a break. So at that moment, you stop, you count, take a moment, and then come back. If you put that pause in there, you're breaking that moment of just aggression and anger and whatever else. So if you put that pause in there and you let me take 10 and then come back and be like, okay, listen, this is what I'm saying. Then if you put in the first strategy of active listening, let me get out what I need to say, and then you can respond. Then you'll have a better conversation, um, where you guys can resolve whatever the issue is. Because yelling and screaming back and forth and whatever, and it's super heated, solves nothing ever.
But please be mindful that if you're saying, you know what, let me get out what I need to say first. Um, Be mindful to try to break it up. You don't want to be long winded, and the person that you're talking to needs to address this particular point, that particular point, but then he can't because you're long winded, and then by the time you finish, he don't know, he has or she has her points, her views of each particular thing. It's just not right to unload everything and expect them to answer each and every one when you didn't allow them to answer each and every one, because you just, what they said, word vomit all over them. And so
Yeah.
now, believe me, and I'm a guy, and my baby can talk, and I know for a fact that I've said, well,
That's why I'm talking about a Takina.
yeah, well, cause I'm like, well, I know you said some other stuff, and but I'm like, I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to give you my all, my undivided attention. But I'm like, now I gotta, now I gotta feel stupid because I'm like, well, can you tell me what the other stuff? Oh, you wasn't listening. I was, but it was so much. Work with me here.
Your processor is slow. It's fine.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody ain't sitting down with like a pen and a piece of paper saying, okay, she talked about this, that bullet point. All right, when she get done, I'm a, you know, because honestly, I thought about like, I gotta be quick on the draw, like grab the notebook and the pen, you know, because it'd be like 5 points.
Okay, moving on. Sixth strategy is finding compromise. So work towards finding a compromise that respects both partners' needs and boundaries, ensuring that solutions are fair and mutually satisfactory. So kind of meet in the middle. You may not necessarily agree on one way or the other, right? But find something that works where you both are comfortable with the outcome of whatever is going on. So like I can't really think of an example for us where we're just like, okay, we're just gonna agree on this. Or like right now we've mentioned in last week's video that not last week's video. Maybe it was like I can't remember. We record so much. But we mentioned about, buying a house, getting land. And so there's things that we both want and we have a different vision of certain things. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll just do it this way. We'll kind of meet in the middle and
And
whatever.
sometimes it's just like, you know what? When we get there, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we'll say that too. That and that one kind of like is like a dome of okay, we have this whatever, but we're just going to kind of push it to the side cuz we're not here yet. Like we've talked about like uh certain things where this person's going to be living here and that person's going to hold on, we ain't there yet, we ain't even crossed that bridge,
Hmm.
so let's just
Or the fact that I have no problem with like having the concrete of our house be buffed and shiny, high gloss type thing or whatever, where my lovely wife would love it to, she would love to have tile or whatever.
mm-mm,
No?
mm-mm.
Oh no, epoxy, epoxy.
Yes, I want a marble floor.
And I'm like, well, you can almost get the same look possibly. Well, not the deep
Okay,
gloss.
so here's the compromise. I just thought of a compromise and I just interrupt you, so I apologize.
You good, baby.
So so I'm cool with the floor having that look. Um, but in the bedroom or in my office, I absolutely want a marble floor.
So, okay. So, did you say in the bedroom?
Either the bedroom or my office, and preferably my office.
Okay, well, your office going will have to be down
Why?
because I don't think you can put it up on the wood per se.
I'm fine with that. I figured the office would be down anyways. I don't I need distance from my bedroom to the office. I don't want to feel like it's close. So I'm fine with that. So that's the compromise.
Yeah, because it ain't my office. My office has a bidet in it.
Okay.
Ooh, I never had one. Have you ever went to a hotel where they had a bidet and shot it up in you?
I I've been in the presence of a bidet, but I didn't use it. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe we could practice that. I can fill my mouth up with water and I just spit.
Oh no, can we stay on topic, please? Anywho,
It's
so
so warm.
the sixth strategy, we're 20 minutes. Come on, focus.
Okay.
Sixth strategy was finding compromise. So we just found some compromise. The seventh strategy is avoiding trigger words. Be aware of and avoid using words or phrases that are known or have been known to trigger the other person, maintaining a more respectful and calm
Why
discussion.
do I feel like we did a video on this already?
We haven't.
Because I remember the trigger word. Okay, so like a trigger for me for her is when she used to say she don't say it now, but she used to back then, and it would be oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. And it
I
was like,
still say that now. Not to you, maybe, but
yeah, not to me, but it's like back then I could say something that really like I'm serious about. Oh, you'll be okay. Like what? No,
I'm laughing.
because I felt like it just blew me off. Like no, like you blow me off, then do I really matter to you? You know what I'm saying?
And it wasn't it honestly, like, in those times, that wasn't my point of saying it, but I understand from his point of view how he received it. So, it wasn't my intention to brush him off or be like, "You'll be fine." Like, it was just something to say, and a lot of it honestly pr came from, when I was in a relationship with my kid's dad and the things that we were going through. I Because he was very disregarding of my feelings, and so I adapted that and was just, "You'll be fine. You're fine. Stand up, brush it off, figure it out." So unintentionally
Ooh, yeah. All right, it just brought back something to me.
unintentionally I just started, even now, like, my son will say something and I'll be like, "You'll be fine." It's I have to stop saying it because I do understand it's like brushing someone off. I do get that, but it's almost like programmed. But so yes, there do not use triggers. Do not use trigger words because you know it's a trigger word. You're aware it's a trigger word. You continuously do it. At that point, you want that, you don't want resolution. You want things to keep going because you're probably hurting inside. So at that point, if you're willing, you need to be like, why am I really doing this? And let's talk about the real reason why I'm trying to inflict pain on you or use these trigger words to upset you. What's really going on in me? And let's really talk about that. So,
Cause okay, so I want to talk about or just say the story. All right, so I did not know that my wife wanted to be there to be able to take care of me physically. Um, Meaning nurse me back to health. Uh, it was one time where I got sick and oh you'll be okay, and that came and gone or whatever, and to the point where I was like, I expressed to her like, if I get sick, who do I have to take care of me? And she was like, me. I'm like, but you've always said I'll be okay, and it didn't matter to you, type, or at least it seemed like it didn't
never
matter
said it
to you.
didn't matter. I would never say that.
No, no. I said it seemed like it didn't matter to you because you know. when she would get sick, I was, you know, getting her two different types of soup, like depending on what flavor or what she feel like she can hold down. Or then again, I learned that she liked the chicken noodles, so I would go to Hy-Vee and get the chicken noodle,
Hey, we
drop
got
it off,
5 minutes.
drop it off to her and everything. So and
But so
basically the way I was doing for her, I wanted her to do for me when I'm down and out, because I'm very rarely down and out.
and I would so to piggyback or explain on that, when I say you're okay, that's me giving like positive affirmation, like you're gonna be okay, like you'll be good, because when you give positive affirmation, it that alone heals the body. Like you tell me, oh, you look good, you looking good, it makes me feel good. And so then that feeling starts operating in the body and it's healing in itself. So if I tell someone like you'll be okay, I'm not saying it in a belittling type way or brushing off. I'm trying to motivate and uplift. Or like I'll tell my son like you'll figure it out. It's fine. We'll figure it out, whatever. So so there's that. So just being aware of how you're saying things, because it may come off like my king said, it may come off as if I'm just brushing them off. So I have to be aware of that. Um so let's move on because we're trying to keep our videos short. Uh, so the number 8 is setting boundaries. Clearly define and respect each other's boundaries regarding what's acceptable in arguments, creating a safer and more respectful environment. So for me in the past, he would say that I'm acting like a person. Like he'd mention someone, say you're just acting just like so and so, or you're hanging out with your friends, you're acting like so and so, and that would trigger me. And so now, because I would tell him like that does not help me. It doesn't make me feel good because you're comparing me or saying I'm acting like someone else, and I don't want to be I don't want that. So now I'll say like, you know, when we are saying we're in our moments, whatever the case may be, just please do not say that I'm acting like this person or that person, because it's not going to help the conversation. I'm going to shut down or I'm going to get upset.
But I don't think that that's boundaries.
Yes,
Boundaries.
it is. It's I'm telling you, please do not. We can have these conversations, just don't go there. That's a boundary. You're
Okay.
putting up like, yeah.
All right. And I recently learned that some people put rules as boundaries, and totally different.
Rules.
A rule is, okay, don't come in my house after 10. That's a rule. But a boundary is, look here, when you're at my house or coming to my house, I messed up. Just look it up. I'm gonna back out. Just look
Okay.
it up.
So number 9 is focusing on solutions. So shift the focus from blaming each other to finding practical solutions to the problem at hand, fostering a more positive and forward-looking approach. So I think we do this very well. Like even if we have disagreements or discussions, whatever, because we don't really, I mean, lately we're still in this place of getting to know each other. We're still growing. We're always growing. You're supposed to grow. So you have these conversations because you're used to someone being a certain way and then they've changed or they're growing. So what used to work, and you're applying what used to work and it's not working. And so you're doing something one way and they're like, no, don't do that, that's no, it's not working. And so you have to shift from that to, okay, this person's changed or this person is saying do it this way. And so finding that solution that works for both of you is better than trying to stay in the blaming and, oh well, you used to be this way and you did it this way. Let's focus on something else. Let's figure it out a different way. Okay, moving on.
Are we stopping at 30 or
Yeah, we're on the last one.
okay?
Seeking professional help. So consider seeking help from a relationship counselor or a therapist when conflicts are persistent and or overwhelming, providing a neutral ground and professional guidance to resolve issues. Now I know a lot
I
of
swear
people
we did this before.
we have not. A lot of people have, and even if we did, we're in this whole series right now. So people don't watch old videos. It's fine. It's new to someone. So, seeking professional help. People don't like to seek professional help. And you need to seek a neutral person, neutral, not someone, not my friend, not his friend, because they're going to be one sided. You need a neutral person. If, oh, I don't want to speak to a counselor, I don't want to speak to a pastor, find someone that is neutral outside of your circle between the two of you that can help y'all get through something. Like, even if it's like a friend's mom or something, somebody outside of that you're close with enough, but not so close that they're going to choose one side over the other.
And definitely choose older people, like older people that's been there, seasoned people. And I don't mean 1 or 2 years older. I mean the ones that damn near probably was alive when Martin Luther King was alive. Um, yeah, and I'm going to always say, if you're gonna seek help, do not do not go to the church or it, I believe that it's biased because we've been through church counseling and we did not seek we didn't, I'm not saying we didn't seek, but we did not find what we was looking for until we took that part out of it, and then everything was like a whole new world blossomed out, sprouted up, and we actually could see things clearly for what it was, what it is.
So, are you did
Yes,
you
baby, go for it.
okay. So, I know that there's going to be some people that are going to be like, what, why,
You go to church to get help.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, to make it clear, more clear what he's saying, like, if you're going to go to the church and the fact that it's biased, like, for us, and I don't know if you would agree to this, but even when we were going, we were still clouded in a lot of what we were going through. So we were not even being fully honest with the situations that we were talking about because we were not clear of what we were going through ourselves. There wasn't clarity between the two of us. And so we were having all of these issues, and we were not honest with ourselves. We were still doing the you and doing the blame game and whatever else, throwing each other under the bus instead of saying, wait a minute, let me back up. So I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So counseling was ineffective for us. It was effective to a certain degree,
Yeah, it
but
was a
over,
bandit,
huh?
but the wound wasn't
Yeah, the wound was
healing.
still there because there was no healing within ourselves to be able to have counseling being effective. Now, the reason why I would say I agree outside of what I just said is I watched a show and a lady was like, it was like some dating show or something, and she's like, I gotta go to the church and get counseling. And when they went, the church did a lot of blaming even towards her for the decisions that she was making, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. So it was very ineffective for why she was even originally there. It
Yeah,
was it was bad.
and
So
I
if
think
you're
that's
gonna
the
go
main part too.
if you're gonna go to the church because you feel that, that's where your answers are, really just, I mean, even for us, we were had our blinders on back then, so it's hard to say go in with your eyes wide open and really try and get what you need, because it's just not, it's not going to be there, because church, a lot of it is about blaming and shaming. So we wouldn't recommend first to go to the church. But if you have some awesome pastors that are willing to like be real with you, but not
I'll agree. I'll agree if they are willing to say, you know what, look here, we're gonna look at it for what it is
yeah,
and just be real, like yo, rock with it.
yeah.
But if they're saying what you should do because of what a book says, nah, nah.
So I'm
Human
gonna go.
nature is not human nature is distorted in the Bible.
So
And
I'm
if you
going.
don't you
I'm
don't
sorry.
believe me, prove me wrong. I'm a stand on business. Go ahead, baby.
Okay. So I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna go over the 10 strategies again. Active listening, effective communication, taking breaks, empathy development, conflict de-escalation, finding compromise, avoiding trigger words, setting boundaries, focusing on solutions, and seeking professional help. And all of this I will put in the description of this video after we're done recording and whatnot. I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to put it in the description so you guys will have it as well if it's something you want to take notes on. As for now, I am your a lovely queen goddess. Talk about it, Takina, and that is my lovely king emperor.
Iconic. Mm.
Okay.
You was reading. I was like, she's so fine. She's so
I
fine.
saw something. Now you saw me look at you sideways.
Yeah, I know. I stopped.
So as for now, guys, we will be back tomorrow with another video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and as we always say, do not ground your love.
Make it out of this world.
We are out.